What's up guys, this is Nukin and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a very rushed video. This is BASTILA SHAN, the Fallen, a new character that's going to be coming to the game. That's right, Bastila has gone to the dark side and the best side. Really quick disclaimer, there's also going to be another character out there that's going to be released. His name is Canderous Ordo, for example, but I barely had enough time to really cover this character, and I really like BASTILA SHAN, so we're going to go over what's under the hood, her kit, and take a look at some arena gameplay. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video at all, smash a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let's get started now. So here is BASTILA SHAN, the Fallen. She is a dark side character who's also a Sith and Old Republic, so she has two tags, and she's going to be labeled as a support character. Now she's going to resemble sort of her light side counterpart, and we'll take a look at her kit in just a few minutes. But first off, let's just kind of talk about who this character is. So this is a BASTILA SHAN that has gone to the dark side, so she is going to inflict a large number of debuffs, including shock, stun, and she has kept her sort of battle meditation, but it's corrupted, and you'll kind of see how that goes into play. She has a few abilities, two specials, she has two uniques as well, and of course she has a basic attack. So first off, let's really just cover those two uniques, and then we'll take a look at the rest of her kit, the basic and the specials. Now, BASTILA SHAN's first unique is called Corrupted Battle Meditation, and this is going to be sort of the counterpart to her light side component, where Battle Meditation would grant counter chance. This is going to do the opposite. It's going to be applied to the enemy side, and it's going to actually reduce their counter chance 30%, I might add. On top of that, minus 30% critical chance, and that's going to be doubled for non-Jedi and non-Sith units. So the rest of the ability is also very similar. Instead of gaining turn meter, she's going to reduce the enemy turn meter by 3%, doubled as well for non-Jedi and non-Sith. And when she inflicts that sort of corrupted battle meditation, she will also recover 1% protection for each debuff on all enemies. Now she has one other unique, and that's called Sith Apprentice. Now Sith Apprentice is her Zeta ability, and this is going to be granted to Bastila, but not only Bastila, also the leader, whoever's running in the leadership position. So both Bastila and the leader will have this 50% defense and tenacity as well. They're also going to gain foresight for one turn at the start of the battle, and also there's a conditional: if the leader of the team is a Sith, whenever an enemy is inflicted with death mark, or they're marked, or lastly shocked, they both gain 5% offense stacking up to a max of 100% for the rest of the battle. Starting off with her basic here, we have Sith Assault, so there is some resemblance to the light side counterpart. She can apply ability block for one turn. Now she's going to be dealing special damage, so make sure that you're paying attention to that number and not her physical damage when you start using this character. And on top of that, there is this new caveat where she's going to have extra critical chance and extra damage, 10% for each active Sith ally. So if you have one active Sith ally, you're going to get 10% crit chance and extra damage. But if all your other allies are Sith and they're all alive, that's what active means. Then she's going to have a big damage boost there, much more than just one character. BASTILA SHAN's first special is called Wild Lightning. It has a cooldown of 2, so quite short, and it also deals special damage to the target enemy. This is going to apply shock to them for 3 turns. That's a very powerful debuff. And also, if that target already had shock, it's going to deal special bonus damage to all other enemies, so it turns into a single target attack to an AoE area of effect attack, and this bonus damage cannot be countered and it cannot be evaded. So very cool. Now she has one extra special, and this special is called Fear. It has a cooldown of 3, and it has a very cool kit. I like this. It's going to stun one target enemy all the time. Then there's going to be a 80% chance to stun another random enemy, so potentially most of the time you're going to be able to stun 2 enemies, and it cannot be evaded. Now this is where it gets interesting. When that stun expires, she's also going to inflict a series of debuffs such as offense down, defense down, evasion down, speed down, and expose and stagger for 2 turns, and these effects cannot be resisted. So no matter if the stun lands or not, they're gonna get a lot of debuffs on them. So very, very cool, very interesting. So now that we reviewed the kit, we're gonna just recap for a second so you can see why her strengths are that she's a very powerful Sith support character, and that she's going to be able to have a lot of controlling elements. She's going to work with multiple teams, Jedi Knight Revan, a bunch of Sith leaders as well. Definitely probably want to run her with a Sith if you give her that Zeta ability. That's going to be quite good, and I'm thinking Emperor Palpatine or Traya lead for sure in the current meta. So now let's look at some gameplay. So here is a team with Emperor Palpatine in the leadership position with Nihilus, Scion, Thrawn, and of course Bastila Shan the Fallen. And you can kind of see here that Bastila Shan is going to work under an Emperor Palpatine leadership, and her corrupted battle meditation is going to sort of lower that counter chance from other leaders, for example like Commander Luke Skywalker. So that's going to be pretty helpful. So keep in mind also that in the month of November, Dooku has a buff in TW, and he's going to be way stronger than usual, and he has shock as well. So potentially some sort of Emperor Palpatine, Dooku, Bastila Shan the Fallen, and a Sith assassin, they all have a bunch of shock flying around. That's going to be very interesting to see how that pairs up in TW. And also, if you're even without TW, you can pair her up with a Sith leader with that Zeta, like Emperor Palpatine, maybe even Darth Nihilus lead, but probably not, and Dark Traya lead in Arena. Going back to some Arena gameplay, now this is going to be a Palpatine lead here with Grand Admiral Thrawn and also the Fallen Bastila Shan going against the light side Bastila Shan and some Jedi. And so you might run into across some of these Bastila teams still in Arena. Those are the people that probably did not unlock Revan, Jedi Knight Revan the first time around, and you'll also probably see some Bastila Shan on defense, for example, in Territory Wars. And when you're running across these teams, Emperor Palpatine actually was not able to really be able to dent those Bastila Shan teams very well. In fact, it's quite easy when you're running a Bastila Shan team to just run over and steamroll an Emperor Palpatine lead, but potentially with that extra 50% tenacity and defense that she brings to a Sith leader with her Zeta, potentially maybe we'll see a resurgence of Emperor Palpatine leaders in Arena, and potentially maybe being used as a counter in TW against some of the Jedi teams once again. It'll be very interesting, but keep in mind we're also using Darth Nihilus and Darth Scion, which is usually not used with Emperor Palpatine in Territory Wars. Usually you pair them up with the rest of the Sith Triumvirate and Darth Traya. So very interesting that we're able to at least beat this Bastila Shan team using part of the Sith Triumvirate. It'll be very interesting to see if this can also be done without it. This will also be very interesting to see how it plays out with Bastila Shan in the future with other Sith leaders, like maybe even Darth Vader. Darth Vader ends up being a priority target once he's taken out, all those dots start expiring, and he'll be even more tanky and durable than ever before. So you may not even be able to take out Darth Vader first, for example. And also eventually we're gonna get a Darth Revan who should be labeled as a Sith, so it'll be very interesting to see the sort of longevity of a dark side fallen Bastila Shan over the course of the next year in this game. So now we took a look at some gameplay, and now let's see what's under the hood, and we'll wrap up the video. So she is a tactics based character, so any gear piece with tactics is going to increase her overall damage and also resistance, and she's a 7-star dark side support character. This is the maxed out version with gear 12. Her health is going to be 34k, her protection's around 39k with mods. Her speed with around 88 speed coming from the mods is going to raise her up to 224 speed, so she has a base speed of around 136. Her potency is at 107% here, but we raised it by mods by 50%, so she has around a 50% base potency, which is much higher than her counterpart. And you can see here that her critical chance is going to be around 30%. And keep in mind, you want to look at the special damage stats, and her special damage crit is also around 30%. Now with an offense mod set, we boosted her special up to 6.3k, but that's with modding and an offense set, so her base is going to be around 5k, which is quite high for a special damage dealing support character. She's not even an attacker, so very interesting stats. She's going to have pretty decent stats to go in, and compared to the sort of meta characters out there, she's actually above average in base stats. So those are her base stats, and I'm going to wrap up the video now. Make sure to leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on BASTILA SHAN the Fallen. Now I think this character is going to be a marquee character, but do not fret, because I believe, just like her light side counterpart, she will potentially be viable at her 3-star level at gear 11, especially with that Zeta. So you may be able to use her right out of the box, even if she's a marquee character, but I believe she's going to be a marquee tune. So are you excited for this character? Are you going to try and use her out? Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Cheers.
The Force will be with you always.